Hi, welcome to Martial Mind Mastery. I firmly believe that in order for any coaching tools to be effective, you need to first master yourself. In Kung Fu, we call this the first battle. In mastering yourself, the paradox is that it's an ongoing journey. So the realization is that you never really arrive. You're continuously learning and cultivating new skills. The first step in mastering yourself, that I spend a lot of time and energy and have fun doing as well at Martial Mind Mastery, is mastering your mind, your emotions, and your body. I don't necessarily mean physical fitness, although that could be an important part of it as well, but really understanding how breathing affects your emotions, your state of mind, your calmness. So the first step is mastering the mind. When you master your mind, you're able to react or respond, I should say, from a better place. I like to incorporate modern Western science together with principles and concepts from martial arts. My experience is close to 40 years in that. I'm a 4th degree black belt in Wing Chun Kung Fu. So there's a lot of concepts and principles that you'll hear throughout my methodology that relate directly to martial arts. It doesn't mean you necessarily have to have an interest in doing any martial arts. We're not going to be doing Kung Fu moves, things like that. We are going to be using, as I mentioned already, concepts and principles. So from the modern Western psychology part, science part, I incorporate psychology, and we use the emotional triad. The emotional triad is something I incorporate that will help you to really master your mind to bring you in the most optimal state. Let's be honest, when we make a decision, when we plan something, we want to be in the most optimal state. Often we find that we make decisions or take actions from a less than optimal state. So the first step is really creating this optimal state. How do we do that? As I mentioned, the emotional triad. The emotional triad is made out of, that's why it's a triad, 3 things. The first one is your focus. What is your focus on? The meaning you give to things, and also your physiology. If you're walking around like this, you're not going to be making great decisions. If you walk up straight, your breathing is calm and deep, you'll be making better decisions. What are you focusing on? Are you focusing on the negative? Are you focusing on the positive? What is the meaning you give to circumstances, people, events? Is it a disaster or is it a challenge? So that's a very brief explanation of the emotional triad. The Kung Fu concepts and principles, I love working with the elements. The elements are clear, they're easy to use, and also easy to incorporate. We work with the 4 elements, 4 of the elements. Water, air, I refer to it as wind, so water, wind, earth, and fire. You really need all 4 to have a holistic approach. The water and wind element are more the softer, calmer parts of the elements that we use. So the water is the absorbing element, and the wind is the moving around, the hips, the waist, the shoulder. Together, they're more the calm, relaxed elements that we incorporate. So they have a physical side to them, but they also have an emotional side to them. If you're very calm, relaxed, you're able to give with, to respond from a calmer place. If you're always earth and fire, you'll notice you're often stressed. So we learn to So we learn to recognize these different elements in ourselves and in other people as well. So we start cultivating the optimal state of mind using the emotional triad, and we'll go into that a lot deeper. And then we also incorporate the 4 elements, 4 of the elements. So the water, wind, earth, and fire. It doesn't necessarily mean that the earth and fire elements are always per definition negative. They can also be very positive. Sometimes you need to stand your ground or stand up for equal justice. Sometimes you need to move a little bit faster. So it's really understanding which element you want to use in any particular situation as a response to a circumstance, an event, or even to an individual or to a group of people. So we learn to understand the elements, recognize them in ourselves, and also recognize them in others so that we can respond from an optimal state of mind, mentally, emotionally, and physically. I'd love to take you on this journey, go a little deeper with you in our next lesson. Looking forward to seeing you there.